another edition of The Prescription. I am here with the one and only Lovr. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm wonderful. I'm glad I finally got you. People don't understand. It's so hard for me to get certain people in the city of Jacksonville in the podcast studio. Lovr is one of them because when I tell you this woman she has done so much. And I've only been in the community a small amount of time, but your name just like resonates and rings bells. And it's like, I know you started with the Cypher. You've had artists, you work at with Hope at Hand. She's also nominated, which we're going to talk about a little later. She's also nominated for Arts Advocacy Award. She does so much work in the community. So my first question to you, I know, right? My first question to you is, what drives you to continue to put so much passion into the arts community here in Jacksonville?
The kids, man. Like, they need it. They need us. And the more I work in the community, the more I immerse myself in the arts community, the more I get involved with the youth. We have to do a better job of leaving something for them behind. And, I want to be able to do my part. So that's it. And my mom.
Hey.
My mama. Shouts out to my mama, Mama Rain.
Shout out to Mama Rain. Definitely. And speaking of the youth, I know you, the program director at Jack's Performance Academy.
The Performance Academy, yeah.
Would you like to tell people more about what Jack's Performance Academy is and what made you decide to partner with and become a part of Jack's Performance Academy?
Yeah, so the Performance Academy has been around for about 15 years. We work with, we call them At Hope youth, but we work with all youth, particularly youth who are in the foster care system or in the out-of-home care system. And we teach them the arts as healing, how to use the art as a healing mechanism, as a coping mechanism, so that they don't harm themselves, so that they don't harm other people, so that they can become productive members of society, so that they don't fall in the trap, so that they don't, fall into the trap of what some people expect them to do and be. And just showing them a different way, showing them that, instead of whatever that anger is, whatever it is that you're holding inside, maybe instead of hurting yourself or somebody else, maybe you'll pick up a pen, maybe you'll pick up a guitar, maybe you'll start making beats, maybe you'll choreograph a dance, or start drawing or something, but you'll get that, whatever that is that you're feeling, that anxiety, that angst, whatever that is, just hoping that they get that, they turn that into something creative and artistic, and they get to see themselves. Like, one of the things, our tagline is acceptance with no exceptions and healing through the arts. That's really all it is that's the magic sauce, is this allowing these youth to be who they are and showing them that they have a safe space to do that.
Definitely, I definitely like that. I know I love that emphasis on healing with the arts, because I feel like arts, no matter what portion of arts it is, if you allow it to be that outlet for you in that moment, even if you're horrible at it, it's still just an expression of your emotion.
Absolutely. Healing art, the arts saved me. You know what I'm saying? Like, poetry literally saved my life. So, why not give that back to the youth? You know what I mean? And give them the things that were given to me.
I definitely love that. So the next question I want to ask you is, like you said, poetry saved you. What made you start be doing poetry, and then what made you make the move to being a spoken word artist?
So I started poetry at 5. I started learning poetry at 5 and learning about poetry. I went to, had the privilege of going to a private school in Dania, Florida, outside of Hollywood, called the Ebony Village School. And the Ebony Village School was just a small private school that was led by 2 amazing Black women, Dr. Marita Green and Dr. Josephine Ivy. May they both rest in peace. But they started this school with the hopes of showing young Black children that we didn't come from slavery. We came from kings and queens, and they taught us the importance of our history and the importance of knowing our history and owning our history. Every day when we walked in, even at 5, we had to recite a poem or a quote from a historical Black figure, and we had to end it with, "My name is Taryn Wharwood, and I have a great mind." So that was my foundation, you know. That was my introduction into poetry. I didn't start really. I wrote all my life, but I didn't start really performing it until I moved to Jacksonville in 2005, and yeah, from there it's just been all kinds of opportunities from there. So, yeah.
Is the school still open?
No, the school closed, and Dr. Ivy passed away a few years ago, and Dr. Green actually just passed away this year. So, but one of the things that I always remember is I always wanted to, once I started like getting into poetry and started giving back to the community, one of the things that I always wanted to do was to be able to tell Dr. Ivy and Dr. Green that how much what they taught us and what they taught me, how much it has meant in my life. And I had that opportunity before she passed away to be able to just say thank you. And it was just, that was like a full circle moment for me to be able to call her, get in contact with her, and tell her thank you for the foundation. And because everything that I'm doing, I really attribute to not only my mom but to them.
That's what's up. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. And I know we were talking a lot about the art, so I'm going to switch it before I kind of come back and going to get to know more about Love Reigns, the person. Mm-hmm. So I see the tattoos. I see. How many tattoos do you have?
That's I have no idea.
She's like, I lost count a
12,
long time ago.
Maybe. Let's go with 12.
What's your favorite one? You ain't got to show us, but what's your favorite one?
This one is my favorite one. It's a quote. I'm a little ashy. But it says, you never understand the meaning or the value of a memory you never understand the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. And this is my favorite one. It's my most recent one. And it's my favorite because I do a lot of work inside the jails. So one of my juvenile girls there, a girl who was incarcerated at the time, she drew this for me as on a piece of paper. And when I came to do my workshop, she had gotten sentenced and went off to her program, and one of the other girls gave it to me, and they said that she wanted me to have it, and so I had promised her that I would get it tattooed on me, and I did. Wow. So so this is by far my favorite one.
I think that's got to be one of the dopest tattoo stories. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. So what exactly do you like you say you do workshops at? What do they entail, and what inspired that as well?
So I got the opportunity to work with Hope at Hand, and Hope at Hand is another nonprofit that uses poetry as healing. And so I work for the Performance Academy and Hope at Hand. So Hope at Hand presented the opportunity for me to go into the juvenile detention center and the women's pretrial jail. Stephanie Fletcher, who is the executive director, shouts out to her for entrusting me to go and deliver the workshops and kind of put my own spin on it and do my thing. So so it's we always have, like, there's a poetry component, then there's a writing component, and we always add some kind of artistic component. A lot of times too, it's a lot of conversation with the women and with the juveniles to let them know, like, hey, I'm not any better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming in here pretending like I'm any better than you. And just because you're here doesn't mean that your life is over. You know what I mean? Maybe we can, even though we're only together for an hour, maybe for this hour you can escape through poetry. Maybe you can find something in the poems or the things that we write and we talk about to keep going, to get through the next week and the next week. And, and wherever you decide to go from there, or whatever you go from there, just to keep going and to understand that, so what? You made a mistake. So what?
It's just life. Like,
it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what? Okay, you're in jail. Now what?
Like, what's the next plan? When we get out,
what's next? Like, what's the plan, right? So what are you going to do while you're here? What are you going to do when you go to the next space, and what are you gonna do to not come back? So that's how I spend it every time I go there, and it's been a blessing.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Definitely glad you guys do that because I didn't even know you had that program. And I'm like, when you said it, I was like, hold on, I'm interested. Like, I love to hear that.
You know what's funny? I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, yo, like you have done a lot of stuff. And I started thinking about it, and I really, like I was saying to you earlier, like I'm not one for accolades, you know what I mean? I do feel like there's been a calling placed on my life, and I just feel like this is a part of my purpose to just go out here and fulfill this purpose, And so I don't keep up with a lot of the stuff that I do, and then sometimes I'm reminded of stuff, and I'm like, man, yeah, I did do that, and I forget. But yeah, to me, it's just all about the work. Like we're all out here trying to figure it out, trying to figure life out. Nobody has it figured out. Nobody has a manual or a script. We all just out here trying to make it. That's it.
I got you, and you're right. And I know, like say before we was talking earlier, but about her not liking the accomplishments and accolades. Like I got them, but I got to keep doing the work. But what we're gonna do is take this moment and definitely give her congratulations because you are nominated and you're going to the Robert Arlene White for Advocacy Award.
Yeah.
It's at the Florida Blue Deerwood Friday the 4th from 6 to 10. So congratulations on your award that you're being awarded with. It's the Arts Award.
It's the Cultural Council. So the Cultural Council of Greater Jacksonville. When I first got the call, I cried. Like I really did, because it was just like I was it was just one of those moments where I was shocked. You know what I mean? Because you don't expect it. Like I don't expect it. I don't expect to be applauded or praised or get a pat on the back for anything that I do. I just feel like I'm out here just doing the work. So to me, it was really a surprise, and I truly am honored. And Robert Arlene White, man, like this guy, to receive an award named after him is just like, man, I'm just so full of gratitude for the things that he's done and to be acknowledged for the work that I've done in the community.
That's what's up, and you've put in a lot of work. And your name, like,
I'm out here for real.
Love
man.
Reigns, literally like rings throughout Jacksonville. So she has definitely the perfect name. And I see, what's that? Tiger's eye? Is that what we got on our? Is that Tiger's eye?
This right here? No, this is a butterfly. This. I don't know what this is actually.
It kind of. I wasn't sure. I was trying to see what kind of crystals we got on.
Oh
today.
no.
Or are these the wood beads?
These are wood beads. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's pretty though. It keeps catching my eye. Definitely keeps catching my eye. So what I was going to ask you is, for people, because one of the biggest knocks I hear from people who live in Jacksonville, there's never anything to do in Jacksonville.
Lies.
So what are some things that you would recommend for people to do, for people who live here who can be a part of the arts and entertainment and support what the arts and entertainment is?
So I'm really not as like, I've been doing this for a long time, and so I'm really not out in the community, like in terms of events and stuff, as much as I used to be. I don't host as many events unless I'm asked. But I would say Create Jax, which is CRE8JAX, is with Tony. To follow him and follow Create Jax. Elise Rose has started putting out some community events. So I would definitely say check out all of those folks and tap into the stuff, man, because it's a lot happening. There's an event this Saturday that I'm hosting by Melissa Case Live. It's the Escape Mental Health and Wellness Festival. So that's this Saturday. But yeah, I would just say you gotta find it, man. Like there's a lot. There's a lot of us who have been here putting in the work. You know what I mean, and making a lot of the events accessible for people. So it's really, to me, it's kind of like a slap in the face when people say it's not anything to do, because it is a lot to do here in Jacksonville. I do believe that there are some things that we can do better in terms of communication and marketing. But if you just talk to people, and ask, word of mouth to me is still the greatest form of marketing. So just look up stuff, go to Eventbrite, go to Meetup Jacks, go to Create Jacks, go to Elise Rose, go to all these community. There's another person on IG, Jacksonville Bestie. Like, if you really want to find something, you can find it. You know what I mean? You just got to look.
I definitely agree. And like she said, she hit a lot of good. Honestly, if you in Facebook in Jacksonville, just put events, just put Jacksonville, and stuff will come up, because there really is so much. And another thing that's coming up, you have the Writers Lab this Friday, right?
Yeah, I have the Writers Lab this Friday too. Oh, and another thing I want to say too. So for the event promoters, you know, make your events accessible to people, right? Like put in those keywords, put in Jacksonville, put in events, use the hashtags. That's how people are going to find you. But yeah, so the Jax Book Festival is this weekend, and I'm doing a writing workshop on Friday from 12 to 1:30 at the main library.
So what can people expect at like a writing lab workshop? What does that really entail?
So a workshop with me is it's all about fun, really just having fun and being vulnerable. It's not just sitting down and just writing. We're gonna talk. We're gonna write. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna play some games, and yeah, we're just gonna get free. That's it.
I like that. Get free with
get
writing.
Free.
Get free with the pen.
Get free, poet. That's it. Everybody's a poet. Get free, poet.
Hey, definitely. So I want to ask you another question. This question is, what advice would you give for people who are wanting to get into poetry, wanting to either get in or grow, like they're just emerging but they're not hitting that next level? What would be your advice?
I would say, you know, write, keep writing, and start going to events. Like one of the things that we started, that there was like a group of us who would frequent different events. You know what I mean? Like we got to support each other, because it's not like we all out here being, you know, we're not all millionaires yet. You know, like so let's support each other. You know what I'm saying? So hit up as many open mics, whether no matter how big, how small, hit up all the open mics. Go to the coffee shops. The coffee shops have workshops. Hit up bookstores. Start your own poetry workshop. Go to a poetry open mic that you normally wouldn't expect to go to. You know what I mean? Hit up St. Augustine. Go to all of these different places and just get yourself out there. Start putting yourself out there. Courtesy Bars has open mic in St. Mary's?
St. Mary's, yes.
St. Mary's.
Every first Friday.
Every first Friday, like
hometown.
Go to that. You know what I mean? Like go to as many. I think there's Biz Levin does Spoken Word on Mondays. Like hit up all the poetry events that you can. You know, Moses West has an event coming up soon. Follow him. Like he does a lot of events. And just follow the people. Sunny Storm has an event on Sundays that she does.
She first and third, I believe, at Live Bar.
At Live Bar, yeah. So it's like there's a lot of events. Exactly. You know what I mean? You just gotta like be out there. You know what I mean? And that my schedule, you know, doesn't allow me to be able to hit up everything, but I try to hit up as many as I can when I am, you know, when I have the time. But even if I can't make it, I still share it. I still talk about it. I still post it. You know, and that's really all we can do for each other. You know what I mean? Is start sharing it more, because your network isn't my network. So if I share your event, then my network is gonna get privy to your event, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So if we did more of that, we could definitely stop that. Talk about it ain't nothing to do with Jacksonville.
I got you, and that kind of segues what you were saying into what my next question was going to be. Is like some more of the things we can do to strengthen the tie between the community and the arts community, which just grows it, and within the arts community, as well as getting people within Duval County to support it a little more.
I would just say we just gotta support each other, man. Like it literally costs nothing to share a post on Facebook, to share it in your story. It costs nothing to applaud for some, you know, to clap for somebody if you see them doing well. Like we've done enough of the backbiting and all the negative stuff. You know what I mean? Let's try something different. Let's try positivity for once. Let's try love for once. Let's stop talking about the negativity. Let's stop feeding into the negativity, and let's feed into the positive. You know what I mean? People talking about you, so what? Like, I got work to do. You know what I mean? Let's talk about these kids. Like, I'm a human, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make mistakes, you know what I mean? So, but none of us, like I said, none of us have it figured out. So if we just focus more on the positive and do more of the positive thing, I think we'll be all right.
I feel you. I feel you. And I'm right now. I've just been in this energy, and it's funny. Everybody around me, I've been telling them like, I just to get me out of the rut I was in. I just been in that love energy. Like I just like I feel like no matter what happens in life, whether it's good, bad, if you ever get to a point where you're not yourself, just always find that frequency of love, and it'll bring your vibration back up. So I just love that.
Seek joy,
Spread it,
man. Like
yeah.
one of the things I started doing was seeking joy. You know what I mean? I asked God last year, excuse me, to wow me, and I've been amazed. You know what I mean? Like literally every day, like it seems like the smallest things that I can acknowledge and just really attribute to God and God answering my request of wowing. And like I called last year. So last year was my 40th year. I called that the wowing. That was the chapter title. And yeah, God has just been wowing me ever since, man.
I feel you. I feel you. I am, and it's funny because I'm going to be 42 next week. So
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I seen 42 in the Spider-Verse. So I don't know. It's like it couldn't. So I started looking it up and then seeing the connection between like breaking barriers, Jackie Robinson, and understanding even in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and like understanding 42. Like that's a great year. So I'm already like, yes, this next year is going to be that great year. So I feel you. It's like I think that's giving me that extra boost. Like that kind of give you that booster going into that next drive and extra drive in your life.
It. Seek joy, man. Seek joy, seek love, and you'll find it. They always say you get what you ask for, what you're looking for. You're always gonna find what you're looking for. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for trouble, you're gonna find trouble. If you're looking for love and you're looking for joy and you're looking for peace, you'll find it, or it'll find you. Exactly. You know what I mean? So we just have to change our perspective. That's it. Yeah.
I always look at it like, and I do so much research and I love talking to so many people, but I realize like say your life is only the mirror of what your inside is. So like if you don't like it, look inside.
That's it. All. Look inside.
So if your life peaceful, you found peace inside you. So be thankful and grateful.
But and you know what? Here's the other thing too. Like it's like even if your life isn't peaceful, it doesn't mean that your life is over. You know what I mean? It just means that there are some things that may need to change, but also being able to accept where you are. You know what I mean? If you're in a dark place, accept it. Accept that darkness, and then find your way out of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point in ignoring it. It's there. It's not going anywhere. So acknowledge it. That's one of the things I always say to, especially like the women in the jail, in the pretrial jail, is, call the thing a thing. You know what I mean? If you're afraid of something or if you've done something, say it. Say the thing. Say the thing that you're afraid to say. Face the thing that you're afraid to face. You know what I mean? And watch how different life begins to be for you.
I like that. And I've been thinking about something. I'm going to get your opinion because I haven't shared this with anybody because I'm always on the philosophies tip. I was like, how we think about dark and lightness, and we'd be like, well, we're in this dark place. But when I start thinking and I think about how the Bible began and just think about how if everything came from darkness, aren't we supposed to be in the dark place? The light is where it's chaotic. It gets peaceful at night.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been thinking about that. Like, I think we're thinking sometimes in reverse when we're thinking like I'm trying to get out of the dark place, and I'm like, no, the dark place that's the place where we find that peace.
That might be where you get molded.
That's where you get molded, so the light doesn't become chaotic. Like you find the peace in the
because
dark.
Even if you accept, like even if, to your point, even if you don't, like even if you get out of the darkness and you haven't fully addressed everything that you were supposed to address in the darkness. When you get to the light, it is going to become chaotic because you haven't addressed those things. So it's like if you're in the darkness, accept it. Accept where you are and do the work. You know what I mean? Like you can't get away from the work. One of the things I always am thankful for is the pandemic. Like the pandemic for me was a beautiful, it wasn't beautiful. It didn't feel beautiful during it, but now on this side of it, to be able to look back and say that it was a beautiful transition for me. It was a beautiful darkness for me because it forced me to see the things that I didn't want to see. It forced me to sit with myself. And it forced me to face myself. It forced me to really own my stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, in hindsight, that darkness was very beautiful for me because I was forced to face it. I was forced to live through it. I was forced to cry through it and grow through it. You know what I mean? And like I said, of course, during it, it's just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, why am I going through this? Why is all these things happening? Why are all these people saying all these terrible things and all this stuff? And then, but like I said, being on this side of it now, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for all the pain. I'm grateful for the friendships lost. I'm grateful for the time. I'm grateful for the suffering. I'm grateful for all of it because it's made me who I am today.
I feel like the universe gave the world a big cocoon.
Yeah,
Like, it put everybody in a big cocoon.
We needed it.
And people just start waking up at different points, busting out that cocoon. But it was much needed.
Looking back on the pandemic, man, I remember seeing videos of like lions and elephants just chilling on highways and stuff, man. Like, to me, that was beautiful because I was like, yeah, they were like, yeah, this is our spot. This is our space too. You know what I mean? And y'all been messing it up. So it's our turn.
I'm about to put Ray on the spot. Hopefully she say yes. Ray, can we get a poem before we get out of here? Can we get a poem before we get out of here?
Let's see. I dream in supernatural earth tones of prophets gone before me. Retracing their steps as if the earth spoke to me, spoken through me are the whispers of Maya. Daughter, live your life. Take this universe and change it. Rearrange it and make it better than it is because it's better than it is. More than writing, it's what you give. More than poetry, this is what you live. So allow every word you speak to be a reflection of what love reigns is because what love reigns is what Taryn was born to be.
Hey, speak poet. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. So I would like you to give your last words. What are last words you want to leave us with before we wrap up?
I would just say, man, live in love and light and peace. Try to avoid the negativity as much as you can, you know what I mean? And try to find beauty in everything. There truly is beauty in everything, even in the darkness, if you open your eyes to see it. So just be at peace, be in love with yourself, with the people who love you. Stop worrying about who don't like you, who ain't coming to your shows. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it like Nike.
Most definitely. And I agree. Like, say, at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to stop you is not doing it.
Yeah, and the only thing that's going to stop you is you. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, you owe nobody nothing. Like, that's one of the things I had to tell myself is I don't owe nobody nothing. You know what I mean? Not even my family. I don't owe nobody nothing. What I owe to God. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't owe nobody nothing. But me being my authentic self. And if me being my authentic self pisses you off, then we just weren't meant to vibe. And that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool. It's all right.
I feel you. And it's like that authenticness, that authentic truth, like being able to get to that point where you live. And I think, like we was talking about earlier, I think it's hitting that point, like it's a midpoint around 40, like you just be like, you know what? I'm just going to be me.
I'm just going to be me.
I swear every day I
None
feel
of
like
this
more
stuff
and more,
matters.
I don't care. I be like...
Listen, sometimes
true.
a light bulb happened, man. When 40 came, boy, it was like, you know what? None of these people matter.
Yeah, like, people come and go, like, and I'm cool with it. Either I learned the lesson, they learned their lesson. It's time for me to meet the next people. And that's it.
And the thing about it is, too, especially when you're talking about letting people go or things coming to the end of a season, you know, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Really, like, it served its purpose for the time that it served its purpose. You don't have to go out and start and bash people. And, like, it ended. The season is over. Now I'm going into my next season. And that's it. And
I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I feel like that was one of the more harder lessons I had to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Was just being a natural people pleaser. That was one of the hardest things I had to get over. It's like, well, why people? Like, and then it's like one day it finally connected, like, oh. It's because our time together is over. It's nothing wrong with it. We just don't. Like,
trust me, I get it. Like, I did the same. I always wanted to, and it was never about revenge for me. It was always about explaining myself. You know what I mean? And explaining the why behind certain things. or if someone said I hurt them, wanting to explain and wanting to do damage control and try to fix it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a natural fixer, and so getting to a place where you realize you can't fix everything, and that's okay. You know, like it just is what it is. I'm here in my lane doing my thing, doing my lane things. You over here doing your thing in your lane. You know what I'm saying? You doing your lane things. I'm doing my lane things.
Yeah, because I remember I had got a text message. A friend of mine sent me that said, "Everybody is not your assignment," and that hit different. Like, it was so random, but it was like everybody is not your assignment.
Not. Everybody is not your assignment, and you aren't everybody's assignment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's cool.
All right, and so I want you to give them your socials, where they can find you if they want to get in contact with you, if they want to find out about Hope at Hand, Jack's Performance Academy. Let everybody know.
So y'all can go find out about Hope at Hand at hopeathand.org. That's Hope spelled like Hope, and spelled like and. Hand spelled like hand. Hopeathand.org. And then the Performance Academy is jaxtpa.org. JAXTPA.org. You can find me on, if you just type in Love Reigns or I am Love Reigns, you'll find me.
Definitely. I want to thank Love Reigns for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
So appreciative. You guys, definitely, they have tickets available. It's October 4th from 6 to 10, Florida Blue Deerwood. It is the Arts Awards from the
Cultural Council. Yeah.
I messed that up every time. That's why I let her do that, from the Council Award. Definitely, she has a writer's lab this week. She has so many different things coming up. Definitely check in with her Facebook, her socials. Follow us. As I always say, love and light. Thank you guys again for tuning in to another edition of Prescription. As I always say, love and light. You have a good night.